One day you'll read that Billy Graham has died. And he said, don't you believe it? I'm more alive than I ever have been before. Hey everybody, it's Fan Time with Chuck and Deb, and today we want to pay tribute to two great men of God, Billy Graham and Jim Downey. So let's start with Jim Downey. I met Jim when he was 70 years old. Jim Downey may not be a household name like Billy Graham, but he was a tremendous man of God. He was with the Navigators from the very beginning. And like I said, I met him when he was 70. I think he lived to be 104, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, and this guy, if you look in the dictionary next to Energizer Bunny, you'd see a picture of Jim Downey. He was traveling the world in his 90s. Tremendous man of God. Mentored my mentor, Cecil Bean, and many of our friends, and just a tremendous man of God. Hun, what do you remember about Jim?
Well, Jim was the type of person, if you invited him to come, he would come and speak to just about anybody, you know, as long as his health was holding up. And so we got a chance to hear him speak and get some time with him individually, ask him questions and hear his wisdom.
Yeah.
And also his experience in ministry.
Now, Billy Graham also went to be with the Lord this month, and he was our hero, America's pastor. And we have this interesting connection to Billy Graham. Billy Graham led Jim and Rachel Webster to Christ, and Jim and Rachel Webster discipled Cecil and Jeannie Bean, our mentors. And so there's kind of this lineage that goes back to Billy Graham. But when I was a chaplain at Ranger School in the Army, Billy Graham's grandson came through Ranger School, and I got an opportunity just to sit with him out in the woods in a patrol base and just have a great discussion with him and Scott Smiley, who was blinded in war and then continued on active duty with the Army, even though he was blind. Quite the man of God. Hun, anything else as far as our connection to Billy Graham?
I think, you know, along with other people, he was an inspiration. He told people that God loved them. He shared the gospel, the good news with thousands and thousands, millions of people. And I think, you know, there are a lot of people that heard the good news about Jesus as a result of going to his big gatherings and crusades, and then, you know, they would televise it on TV as well.
My favorite quote from Billy Graham, and it's been quoted many times in the last 2 weeks. One day you'll read that Billy Graham has died. And he said, don't you believe it? I'm more alive than I ever have been before. So a way to say thank you to Billy Graham, the Graham family, Jim Downey, the Navigators. Thanks for everything that you've done. And if you've liked this video, pass it on to others. And until next time, keep making disciples until there's no place left.
Maybe we can stop by